Dani, Olmo, Euro, Braithwaite, De Ligt, Ugarte, Manchester United not selling any players to the Saudi Pro League. All sorts on this evening's show. It is a pre-recorded, it is a premiere, so what I want you guys to do is all get involved in the chats. This is my last video while I'm here in London. Massive appreciation for you all already for sticking by it and just getting involved where I can. It has been on the go content constantly, so please give the video a like. Let's get up to another 500 easy likes in the show today, guys, for this one. Get involved in the live chat, which is going now as well, because this is a premiere. I want you guys all involved so I can see what your opinions are. I'll come back to them later. We are launching TIFO tonight, which is why I'm not live tonight. This is what this whole breakaway in London was. So yeah, please do keep involved and keep them comments coming in. Make sure that you're on top of everything that I'm talking about. So I'm going to start with the story of Dani Olmo. Now, Dani Olmo has a buyout clause. We know this simply because RB Leipzig have let it known, Dani Olmo has let it known, Manchester City have been all over this. But why are Manchester United being linked again to Dani Olmo? Well, it's because no one wants to pay that 50 million buyout clause. Now, it seems cheap for a decent player, but like with Tony last night and what we was talking about in teams not going in for that buyout, they've just waited it out and then let's see what RB Leipzig want to do. Are they going to accept bids lower than 50 million? Are they going to say, we need to sell Dani Olmo? So if no one's buying him in this buyout clause phase, which ends tomorrow on the 20th of July, then we're going to have to sell him cheaper. Again, not just United with this one. United are involved because we're run like a proper football club now, but Manchester City will be involved. Obviously, you're going to hear about Barcelona and other big clubs like Barcelona and Bayern Munich, both coming in for Dani Olmo, teams like this, because they've seen a situation at Leipzig and an opportunity again. It's clever. We only know about this now simply because we're actually involved in decent deals like this, and understanding it is that you don't always have to use that buyout clause. United have done it already once with Joshua Zirkzee in not using that buyout clause and getting him easily over the line. They've structured their own deal. So 50 million, someone might want to come in and go 35 million. Then what are RB Leipzig going to do? He's going to end up running that contract down like all the other players and leaving, and their model is to sell players on. And every European club knows about this, including Manchester United. Whether or not we go in for him with everything that's going on, that's another story altogether. But again, just to be in the reckoning and in the reckoning for Dani Olmo, so I couldn't get the right word out there then, but in the mix is the one I'm looking for to get Dani Olmo. Then that just shows again the way United are operating and what they're doing, utilising whatever they can in this transfer window to try and stay ahead of PSR. Financial fair play. It's like we thought we were Man United before and we could just get away with these things. It's weird how a club this size can actually be run the way it was. But yes, United will be in for Dani Olmo. It's whether or not we've got the funds in at the time to go in for him. Obviously, we talked about Ugarte earlier on last night in the morning. Literally every single day since Manchester United registered an interest with him, we've been talking Ugarte. We know last night from what was built with Romano that personal terms are fully agreed. There's no issue there, the player wants to go, but they want more than 70 odd million euros for Ugarte. United are not going to go for it. And the other story coming out today from Florian Plettenberg is that PSG will not accept a loan bid for Manuel Ugarte. The plot thickens with this one. Is this indeed going to be Manchester United's and Ineos's toughest challenge yet in this transfer window? They've flown through the window with flying colours so far, but now Ugarte and the situation with PSG standing firm, no loan deal, and they won't go any lower than 70 million. I mean, it all looked good. It all looked positive yesterday with personal terms agreed, but we're in a similar situation, like we said in the midday show today, with Matthias de Ligt, only it's not too far away. This valuation is a million miles apart, and there's a lot of work to do. And obviously, we've not dealt with PSG that often before. Is this a different animal altogether? Are they going to stand firm? Are United going to play the long game with Ugarte? Well, simply, like, if they want João Neves, they're going to have to get their act together and come to some sort of agreement with Manchester United regarding Ugarte. United are not going to go bigger than 38 million, it's said. They may go a little bit more, I don't know, but we know that they've not really moved with the prices of the players and what their valuations are in all of the dealings over the summer so far. They've gone in with what they thought was right for Euro, got that deal done. Zirkzee, fine, structured their own deal, paid a little bit more to make the payments right. Are we going to do the same with Ugarte? I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one, but PSG playing hardball. I think United are still in a better position for Ugarte. I don't think it's going to be a situation where United have to walk away because it's a valuation that we're not going to get near. I think PSG will come down, but with the deals that we've done so far, I think they were easily doable in a short space of time, i.e. valuations met, clubs happy with United's bids, players more than happy to come. Obviously all the other players are happy to come that we've been bidding on, but the clubs have also been in negotiations and happy with Manchester United's pricing so far and valuation. So yeah, looking at that, it's just going to be a little bit more drawn out. So don't panic, not like it's over or anything like that. We did touch on what's happening with Amrabat early on, with McTominay as well in the midfield area, and them getting impatient. The bigger news that came out today as well, though, was that Manchester United are not selling any players to the Saudi Pro League. And in that statement that's come out from the Saudi side of things, Manchester United directors have told Saudi teams that they're not selling Bruno Fernandes, who we knew there was a bid coming in for from Saudi Pro League. Obviously, we know about Marcus Rashford already, and him totally turning away the Saudi Pro League. We've also got now Casemiro, who we thought was going, and now not going to the Saudi Pro League, which is very, very strange for me. I don't know where he's going to end up going now. And the last one, which is probably the most interesting one, is Jadon Sancho. Now, you add all of them players together, if United are not selling to the Saudi Pro League, there's no one else out there that's going to be able to afford either one of them 4 players that I've just mentioned. Not a one. PSG maybe for Rashford, that's it. But we know Rashford wants to stay at the football club now, and United won't push that move out. They're putting their eggs into the João Neves basket, so Rashford stays. Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes and Jadon Sancho in particular, probably not as much Bruno Fernandes, but Casemiro and Jadon Sancho were earmarked as money in for Manchester United going into the summer transfer window. They were confident that, well, not confident, but a confident sort of vibe around the club that they were going to be moved on. Whether or not we could get the deal done, whether or not we could get it over the line, that's a different story altogether. But they were fully confident that Manchester United were going to be able to get them out of the door. Now, not. That just completely takes away all of the conversation we've just had about Casemiro and about Dani Olmo and any other attacking player at Manchester United right now, because we have got an abundance of attacking talent right now. Maybe wide players, no central ones. We've got Xerxes and now we've got obviously Højlund in the middle, so not bad there. Worst case scenario, Rashford, Bruno, false 9. We're better than we was last season, let's say that anyway. But like Sancho on the wing as well, Palestri coming back, Ahmad, Antony, we spoke about him earlier on. How the hell are we going to get him out when Manchester United are hoping that someone's going to cover his full wages? 200 grand a week for a player that actually only scores 3 goals from the wide position. No one's going to pay that. So Antony stays, unless we pull a miracle off. Sancho's staying now, because Ten Hag's made up with him and everyone's happy again. You've got Palestri coming back, you've got Ahmad, you've got Rashford, you've got Garnacho. That is an awful lot of players that play out wide. Worst case for Mason Mount, if Bruno's playing a lot and we're trying to get him in, unless there's any rotation in that number 10 role from Ten Hag, which we've not seen a lot of, and him playing out on the right as well, then you're also looking at Mason Mount there in that position. Sancho staying, honestly, I think it's a bigger problem than what people are making out. Like, it's all right that they've made up and there's no drama anymore, but there's also the problem that he was playing absolute dog shit in the first place and didn't warrant a place in the side. He wasn't playing well enough, and people still keep coming to me and saying he did well in pre-season training, and this is why the fallout came, because Antony started ahead of him at the start of last season, straight after a good pre-season for Jadon Sancho. There's more to it, and we know there's more to it, but yeah, Sancho coming in and now being told he is, what position is he in terms of pecking order? I don't know how he's going to integrate him back in. Ahmad's not going to wait around. Does this force United into a position with Amad Diallo? I'm not scaremongering, I'm not saying I want Amad Diallo out, but if United want other players in and they want to stay ahead of PSR and financial fair play, then we have got a serious problem with keeping Jadon Sancho and Casemiro. Let's not forget, these two are the highest earners at the football club as well, accumulating well over $500,000 a week between them both. And United thought they had them out. Yes, we have done well in shedding the wage bill this summer. We've done fantastically well. I just look at it and I go, really? Are we thinking of keeping Jadon Sancho? Is it that difficult to get rid of this lad? Do we look at it and go, he's in his 3rd year now, he's going to be one of them players next season that's going to have 1 year left on his contract, and then we move him out cheap? Do we get a bumper season out of him this season and get more out of him? That is a problem on its own, I feel, because I don't think he starts ahead of everyone else who's there at the club right now. Xerxes is going to be playing across the front, who we've just spent big money on, so he can play middle, left, right, 10. You've got Bruno who plays false 9 as well. There's a lot of integration there with them players. And Jadon Sancho coming back into the side, I just don't see how it fits. It's really complicated right now. And then, like, we're talking in a positive note on Dani Olmo. And by no stretch of the imagination am I downbeat at all with this here. I'm just trying to get my head around how United now, is it a case of that PSG not budging on Ugarte, United have said we're keeping Casemiro for another year? Are we just accepting it because his wages are lower this season? Obviously, he's not on as much as he will be because United not in the Champions League. Can we afford that for another season? Then maybe selling cheap next season, something like that. And maybe United, with Casemiro's help and a full rotational squad through the season, Manchester United can get back in the Champions League and get that money. Again, I said it in the earlier show today, this puts an awful lot of pressure onto Erik ten Hag in getting the result that Manchester United need this season coming and getting into the Champions League. Bruno, let's not even talk about him. We knew he wasn't going to go. The situation with his contract will come to a head, I think, next summer. I don't think there was any room for Manchester United to be getting rid of Bruno Fernandes, our top creator, our top goal scorer behind Rasmus Højlund, our captain, our leader, and the man who, like in the news that's just come out, in terms of the staff and everything with that cup final situation, where Ineos said there's no party, there's no accommodation, we're not giving out the royalties to the staff members and the coaching. Bruno Fernandes tried to go to Ineos and pay for all of the staff party, accommodation, everything out of his own pocket. This is Mr Manchester United right here. Mr Captain Bruno Fernandes is everything to this club. He got turned away, by the way, and he didn't get the opportunity to do it. But that's what you're getting rid of. You can't replace that this season. There's a lot of thought that's going to have to go into Bruno Fernandes' situation. Bench that, not an issue. Bruno is here next season. I'm happy about it. Not a concern. Sancho and Casemiro, I just don't know where we go. One more season each. Sell them next season. Are we just have to settle for what we've got right now in terms of the transfer window? Sell Lindelof, possibly sell Maguire. It does look like if Casemiro is staying, then Amrabat definitely. That Scott McTominay is definitely going to be tried to be forced out of Manchester United. Forced, I don't mean in that sense. Like I said earlier on, I feel like Manchester United not offering him a new deal, him going with 1 year left. United right now are in a difficult position because of the work that's gone on before. So maybe taking these players like Bruno, like McTominay, like Harry Maguire, like Casemiro, like Jadon Sancho, into realms of, into your last year of your contract. This is the only way we can do it. We just have to settle on losing and taking a loss on these players for the better good. And I think like short-term loss, long-term gain is a strategy for Ineos. You can see it in the age of the players that we're bringing in. Yeah, we may have had to pay a little bit more for Euro, but what are we gaining in the long term out of that deal? And it's structured as well in easy, affordable payments. This is Manchester United going forward, and I just feel like looking at it, and I'm making my own mind up here, and this is why I love you guys to be involved in that live chat that's going on right now in the premiere of this video. Tell me, do you feel, and get your comments in as well when this video finishes up, do you feel like Manchester United are doing this the right way? Like, we cannot force players out on contracts. We can do as much as we possibly can to get them out. If it's not happening this summer, they've got 1 year left. What I just said within 1 year is McTominay's at it now. Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, them four players are in the last year of their contracts now, and we can move them on cheap. It may seem cheap and it may not seem like the right option, but what are Ineos supposed to do when it was set up before they came in? This would never come to a head like this at Ineos. I can tell you right now, the Joshua Xerxes, the Lenny Yoros, and anyone else who comes in now will never be in the position that Lindelof, Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Scott McTominay are in. Not a chance in hell that they'll be in that position by the time it comes around for their contracts. It would have been dealt with. Omar Barada would have moved these players on well in advance of this, and Manchester United will be in a miles better position right now if they're looking to sell any players or if they've got any bids coming in for players, because you know what, Manchester United have probably got players in this team that are worth a lot of money that Ineos can make a mint out of for Manchester United. So yeah, looking at it, I feel like that's what they're doing. Next season, Jadon Sancho will be entering his last year of his contract. So maybe we'll be moving him on then. Casemiro, I think he's still got a little bit long. I think he had a 4-year deal, Casemiro. So maybe that, yeah, in fact, that is Casemiro's last year of his contract next season. So yeah, that's how I see it happening with them. And it's the only thing I can get behind, because if this is official, and this has come from a Saudi side of things with these 3 players not being sent out or not being sold this summer, then United have just accepted it, and they want to get this squad this season as organised as possible for Ten Hag. He knows exactly who he's moving, who he's not. It looks like Wan-Bissaka, Scott McTominay, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, them 4, along with Hannibal Megdre and possibly Facundo Palestre, them players are the ones that are going to be moved on from now. I don't think we're going to get movement on Sancho or on Casemiro now from what's been said. So looking at it, it's a distinct possibility that Ineos have done as much work as possible. I've told Ten Hag that these are the players that are staying, these are the players that are going this summer. What do we think, what we're working with? It's going to be interesting what happens with Amrabat from this point. I think if Scott McTominay goes, I think we'll go all in on Ugarte. If we sell everyone else that I just mentioned there, then on that list, I think we'll try to get Ugarte and De Ligt. Or maybe even Branthwaite, like we spoke earlier on. If Everton are having to do cut price deals now, then Manchester United, I feel, are in a position to go in and sting Everton big time on this. But yeah, in terms of players that are going to be available and players that are going to be starting the season, we could possibly see Lenny Yoro turn out against Rangers tomorrow. He's been training for the first time with the squad today, and is now in a position fully to go to Glasgow with the squad tomorrow and be part of the team. We could be seeing Lenny Yoro in a red shirt as early as tomorrow, walking out onto a pitch, which is fantastic news for us. Obviously, this has been like the biggest news this week, and has been, I think, the biggest coup of the summer. Like the statement signing of the summer has been Manchester United buying Lenny Yoro, and all the other positive moves behind that that's going on behind the scenes. This has been a spectacular week for Manchester United, and it's Friday now, and we head into the weekend with another pre-season friendly, our second pre-season friendly of the season. It is just good to be a United fan right now. The positive vibe is bouncing everywhere, and it is brilliant being a Red right now and just being miles ahead of everybody else in the transfer window. It's like you're just seeing the likes of Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool scratching around. Manchester City haven't bought anybody yet. Yes, Villa are making moves and getting their business done, but yeah, it's a real positive that Manchester United are ahead of everybody else, because we're miles behind everybody else. This is just what needed to happen this summer. But what I want you guys to do is give me your comments on everything on the top topics there. Will United be in for Dani Olmo? I sort of built you up and then brought you back down with the news about Casemiro, Sancho and Bruno Fernandes not being sold to the Saudi Pro League. Bruno we're not bothered about, but obviously Casemiro and Sancho, does that affect any more transfers in the window? Or do you think, like I said, that list of players that are rolled off that are going to be sold, is that enough to get an Ugarte, a De Ligt / Branthwaite? Is it 4 only? And would you be happy with 2 more signings? If it is another midfielder, if it is another centre-back or a full-back, is that enough for Manchester United? Get them comments in below. By the way, how much would you spend on Dani Olmo? What would your bid be on Gerard Branthwaite if you wanted to go back in and teach Everton a lesson? And should we go anywhere near that price for Manuel Ugarte that PSG are asking for? We're at 38. Should we go any higher than that? Is he worth it? 4 years left on his contract. PSG are playing hardball on it. We're not going to get the loan. I want your comments on that below as well. Again, before I just finish up, thank you everybody. The numbers have been absolutely amazing over this last week, and in this last couple of days, obviously it's difficult with trying to spend a bit of time, bit of downtime as well, get around London and just try and chill out. It's been full on mental. Big thank you to Kaz, who's been by my side the whole week, backing me up with everything, telling me it's all right, we'll just do it, we'll go live here, there. We're supposed to spend a bit of time together. And Frankie as well, of course, yes, helping out as well. We're off to celebrate the launch of Tifo, guys. So what I want you to do as well is get in the description and get involved in Tifo. This season we are launching it. It's something we've been working on for months now. Tonight we have the launch party with all the other content creators going to it as well. I get to meet the founders of the company and everything here in London, so that's why we're here, that's what we're launching. I appreciate all of your support on YouTube as well. I just want to get a little bit off you guys onto TIFO as well for the watch-alongs coming up this season. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed with TIFO when it kickstarts for that opening day of the season. The first one is going to be the derby against Manchester City. That's the first proper game. We may do a few more of the friendlies yet, but please do get into the description, get involved. It's a brilliant setup, honestly. I can't wait to show it you all properly for what it really is. But tonight we're starting that. But thank you, everybody. It's been immense, even when it's been difficult to listen to, well, out and about, on the go here in London. You've stuck by the channel. We're building. We are less than 700 subscribers away from 50k. It would be immense if we managed to get that done over this weekend. So please hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're not going to miss any Man United content. I cover everything, no matter where we are, and you'll see that again this weekend. I know it's still carrying on the mentalness, trust me. I'm not going to tell you what I mean by that, but you'll know as soon as it drops up. Tomorrow, in fact. But give the video a like as well, guys. Give me as many as you want, a minimum 500. And again, cheers. I really do appreciate it, honestly. It's our channel and we do this together. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening and up the Reds.